Good morning. Just realized I was on mute. Trying to talk to y'all. How we doing? How we doing? Currently live, the Dow Jones. Let me turn this down. That's a little bit loud. All right. Trying some background music today. Let me know if you can hear that. If it's too loud, too quiet. What a night we had last night, huh, on the news. I guess people didn't exactly like the talk that Trump had or something like that. Good morning. All right. Kind of just a brief overview of what's going on today. We are bear continuation after a huge downside move through yesterday's low. Okay, we have a developing point of control here with our 233 trend. You can see I have my target just below that to see what's going to happen. Be looking to add down here at the -2s. First live stream in the morning, and I'm a little early. We'll see if some people show up. Maybe this would be one of those where Mr. Beast comes in and sees there's one person here, and he like live stream chats me or something like that. Super chats me for $1 million. Thanks, Mr. Beast. Not really sure how the markets are going to act today with short day tomorrow, right? We have Easter tomorrow, or yeah. Oh, let me turn this off. Got an echo on myself. Yeah, we're not sure exactly what we're going to do today, but we're not really trying to predict the markets. We're trying to react to them. For anybody that just got here, we are currently long the Dow Jones at the -1s. Kind of hanging out. Target just below my trend. Developing POC just moved down. So when we just started the stream, this was POC up here, just moved down here. Kind of good news for us. Somebody can give me a thumbs up in the chat and one in the chat if you guys can hear me. Everything seems okay audio-wise. Also trying background music today. You can let me know if that sucks. 30-minute candles, so let's give yourself a time reference of where we're at. I think the stream is probably delayed about 15 to 20 seconds or so. Next day, will be down here at the -2s. Even though I am tempted to maybe add again at volume point of control. We'll see what happens when the market opens. A little too early for that. Especially we'll see if we get back any of this overnight volatility at the open. Would love to see things come back up into yesterday's range. That would be really, really good for the mean reversion strategy. Definitely don't want to see more dumps to the downside. Already down 1.3% on the day. Right now, the MYM dealing with the ATR7 of 94.68 and current range on the day, 853. So definitely green light to trade. That's why I'm on a little bit early today. This is the ES. ES is coming right up into the -1s right now. Similar looking chart. They're definitely below volume point of control over here. On the ES, here's yesterday's range that we're trying to hopefully get back into. It definitely help our strategy. That would be nice. Don't need it to go up necessarily. Not looking for a green day per se. I'm just looking for everything to revert back to the mean, being that's the strategy. Good morning.
An early pioneer in artificial intelligence research, the University at Buffalo is leading the way again with an innovative approach to AI education, introducing AI plus.
Yeah, I'd love to go up and get those blocks there on the Bookmap.
And social sciences into tech-driven coursework. The goal? To create a future world that realizes AI's potential for good. See how at buffalo.edu/Spotify.
Sometimes creating an ad campaign can feel like you're talking on mute. But advertising on Spotify is different.
Getting a little ad here on Spotify. I guess I gotta get Spotify Premium if I want to play background music.
And see your message. Learn how Spotify can add more to your mix at ads.spotify.com. Sometimes creating an ad campaign can feel like you're talking on mute. But advertising on Spotify is different. We'll help your business turn up the volume and reach an engaged audience that's ready to hear and see your message. Learn how Spotify can add more to your mix at ads.spotify.com.
Want to spice up your listening? Smart Shuffle can weave in song recommendations for your playlist when you join Spotify.
Oh, very nice, baby. Would you make an Easter basket? Very nice. Looks great. Go down. Go down. Go down. For anybody that's got here, this target up here, I'm targeting right below my 233 EMA. That's it. Set it and forget it. Not exactly the most exciting thing in the world, but pays the bills. Already discussed a bunch. If you have any questions, please leave them in the chat. Let me know. Especially if you can't hear me, let me know. Sometimes I'll be talking to myself for 15 minutes. And someone will be like, you're on mute, dude. If the markets are open, I'd be probably adding again at the -1s. But like I said, with 7 minutes here till the market opens, we'll see what happens. Kind of just let it fly. Be looking to add again down here at the -2s. There's a good chance I'd probably add depending on the volatility of the open. Down here at volume point of control, might be looking to add a second there. But we'll see what happens. So I definitely want to see this candle close. We definitely have a couple wicks up here. So I want to make sure that we're not just going to wick again and then come right back down. We'll know in 5 minutes. So today trading 12 evals on the stream. This is all props. All live stuff done off camera. No live stuff on camera. That's against the terms and conditions. But yeah, up $8 right now. Not too bad. It's nice trading in the morning. Stress-free being a teacher. I'm off today. Usually I'm making copies and grading tests and doing all this other stuff when I'm trading. Today it's just I get to just sit back, relax, enjoy the view. Go down. Man, that is sunblock right above us. Got to definitely. I'd love to eat those orders up. Let's go. Push through those. Look at this thing. Definitely don't use Bookmap for entries, but definitely love to use them for exits. Love to see us come through here. We get through here, we'll come up and see this again. Right now, 20 bucks. Let's go. I think I might profit. I think it was be like a $60 trade. 60 across 12. I'll take that all day. We'll see. There's a chance I might take this off and let the open happen and then maybe re-enter. We'll see what happens. Yeah, let's take this off and then let the market open.
Order submitted.
See if it comes back down, touches it. If not, if we continue to go, we'll go. Just to protect ourselves against the market open here. Definitely don't want to give back too much.
Order filled.
All right, so we're out of there right now. We will let the market open now.
Order canceled.
Not too bad. Like I said, nice little, we got in right here off the -1s. I said took that for 26 across 12. I just, we're coming into the market open here in a minute, 14 seconds. Definitely didn't want this thing to flush all the way down and give it back. And, you know, there's a pretty good chance that it might shoot all the way back up to my original target. But like I said, there's no need to mess around with the volatility of the open. I'm really not that good enough yet trading to handle that. As well as short week today, Thursday, news last night. There's just too many things that could happen at the market open that I'd rather just lock in my $25.60 or whatever it is, $25, $26, and then let the market open. If the market opens and we don't see a huge swing in volatility, I'll be looking to add right back in at the -1s, and we'll just continue the trade that way. $15 seconds till the market opens. And here we go. For those of you that have been here for a minute, it's funny watching the Bookmap go so slow and then the market opens and it just goes crazy. I think I want to participate here. Let's see, I'm just letting it. We got these candles down. We got these wicks down here that I'm kind of just looking at. Just like I said, market open. We've already had a huge movement in the first minute of this candle. So like I said, I'm not rushing. I don't need to be in a trade. I would love for it even to come down here, hit value area low. That would be like a better entry point for me. And like I said, it might touch the -1s and then rip here. Who knows? We're not trying to predict, but I'm in a very, very strong position of just managing risk. It could do a lot of things. Yes, it's at the -1s. I can enter. The market just open. Let's see what happens.
Order submitted.
See, there it goes. Might have missed it. Let's say. We'll move back down here and we'll get in. Yep, let's get in. Oh, you're going to go? Going to go without me?
Order filled.
All right. So we're low on Dow Jones.
Order submitted.
I'll put it right at the top of these wicks here. See if it wants to go back and test those in the market open. My next ad will probably be down here at value area low for the day. Move the target up just below the trend line. I think this, if we're going to go up, we'll probably go up and try and see that again. We'd have huge blocks below. Probably have to try and go clean out a little bit. Good morning. Good morning. Love a wick. Go. Go Dow. Let's see if we get a little response to the swing high here. Frame rate Scott here. We did take one already. Just before the market opened, we pulled it off just to see what the market open would do. Up a couple bucks on the day. Currently Dow, currently long the micro Dow. Let's mute these ads here for a second. Mute. I gotta get the premium version, eh? Market's trying to decide what it is going to do today. And we are here for it. Let's see if these ads are over. Nope. Still 1 of 3. Oh, we got a minute and 12 seconds left in the break. All right, so we'll come back in a minute and 12 seconds. Then we can put the music back on. Back down to the -1s. If you weren't in initially the -1s, this would be another good spot you could add. Pretty much have my next 2 adds, so I'm not looking to add again at the -1. I'm looking to add at value area low and then back down at the -2s will be my next 2 adds. 3 contracts is the most that I'll be taking on. Let's see if the ads are over. $59 seconds left in this break. All right. We need, let's see if I can make it just a little bit loud. There we go. Still trying to figure out what we are doing. Are they making me be on this page? I think that's what it is. I think that's why it's not playing. Let's get through these breaks here. There we go. Just gonna, my kids are calling me. Hold on. Hey guys, that's not the behavior I'm looking for. I appreciate that so much. Just want to say that I've watched a few of your videos and your particular style training inspired me to add something similar to my playbook. Awesome. Love it. Thank you so much. Yeah, and can't take credit. This is all Rod Cassili's Futures Fanatic. Taught me what I know. Love it. Sticking with it. And we'll see what happens. You can go a little bit of dumps. Just probably looking at those orders down there in the Bookmap. Good thing about traded micros is we don't have to worry about little pullbacks. We don't have to worry about being just a little bit early with our entries. We don't have to worry about the perfect entry. Someone like me that's not an expert by any means, you know, trading the micros just allows me to, you know, allow that pullback. If I was trading a mini there, I'd be down $200, which wouldn't be the end of the world, but definitely be a little bit more stressful if I was down 255. As opposed to being down 25. And then also if I was trading minis, I wouldn't be able to look to add at a better position. I wouldn't, right? This necessarily long isn't exactly invalidated down here. Like we can still see a jump here and we can still see a jump here. So why not give myself a little bit of room with minis to be able to make that play? Kids are home from school as well. Multitasking. Dad life. Yeah, so if you're following the strategy, any of these -1s would have been a good initial add. things are kind of balancing themselves out. Man, doesn't it seem like that's been the last month? We get like a news candle and then consolidation, which I know the Instagramming, YouTubing influencers, they just want these huge range days and they just want these things to move. I mean, they want trending days. I've loved the last couple of months, just up, down, line to line. And I'll be very interested to see like when market conditions kind of change and we do get more kind of rangy days, which I just found like even like yesterday kind of sat on my hands. We were outside day up yesterday. So I only made one trade or so, but yeah, we see just consolidation, big news event, and then consolidation, news event. So you also have to be prepared for that, but you can't sit around all day and be like, he's going to tweet something and then we're going to be screwed. Like that's just not the way I'm particularly trading. I'm just saying, hey, we put our orders on the lines and then we make it happen. Like I'm very interested to add here. Kind of at the lows of the day.
Order submitted.
And I used to not believe that this wasn't adding to a loser, right? This is just a strategic add at another place of interest that would be good for a long. So yeah, I could take the loss on this first initial entry and it's essentially like re-entering for me. But because I'm trading minis, I don't have to pull the first one off to re-enter, if that makes sense. If this thing was just flushing down and going against me and I'm saying, oh, I got to add, I'm going to add, just hoping for that reversal back. Yeah, that's adding to a loser. This add here is, I wasn't right, 100% right on this add here. So now this one will be right. Or this one will be right. Or I hit my loss for the day. I just close my computer and I walk away. Very, very simple. Make this a little bit clearer maybe for the screen. I don't have it super like consolidated on my screen. That might make it a little easier to see. And then too, when you trade in minis and I almost want an add here, right? I want it to come down. Here it comes. I want it to come down and give me a little bit more inventory in and just make my position better, right? And then if it comes back up to the 233 and like it still feels fishy to me or I'm a little bit trigger happy, all I'd have to do is take one off there and now my new average is here. I have no problem pulling off a contract and taking a small loss on this to better my position down to here, right? If I get this add, my break even is going to move down to here and that's just bettering my position. That's all. And a lot of people would say this is like watching paint dry. Yes, it's very slow, but maybe I'm just old, but I just prefer this nice slow. I feel like it's slow and controlled. Where when I traded the NQ, it was just all over the road. Like every single time I was in a trade, I was like, what's going to happen here? You know, or I felt like my finger was just always on the close button. Like we got to get in and out. This, I can just go to the bathroom. You know, I could be multitasking and do other things. Like this style just fits me, even though it's nice and slow and controlled the way I see it. And we can see my target way up here. Like I said, how I chose that target, just below this trend line. This is what 233 trend. Can actually kind of move that up a little bit if I really want to. I can be a little bit more specific and say, hey, we'll come here. We have these wicks up here, though, that I would love to try and come test again. What a beautiful wick, though. What a beautiful wick. That's all the people getting out of shorts right now. Right? The way I used to trade, I would look at this chart and be like, oh, it's come up here. We're going to be short again. We're going to be short again. Where now I understand mean reversion. Being a math and science major, I understand statistics. You know. And if you're really new to this and you didn't want it to come all the way back down here to add, you can pull this off for 11 bucks, whatever, and then see if it comes back in and re-enter at the -1s. That's also a very good possibility, especially with all these swing highs, right? It just came up and hit these swing highs again. On certain days, you're not going to be able to go line to line. The action is just not going to give you line to line. It really is personal preference. If we pop back up here, maybe I'll show you what I'm talking about. There's nothing wrong with locking in profits. There really isn't. Even if it's small. You just have to understand that if you take off here, right, it can still continue to pump. Whenever you get out of a trade, right, the market is either going to go one way or the other. So once you're out of a trade, just know that you're out of a trade because of a certain philosophy. Like you either think it's invalid or you want to peel it off and let it come back down. Just be prepared for, if I pull off here, I need to understand that it could rip all the way up to my previous target. And you can't be saying to yourself, oh no, look, I should have held. Well, maybe you should have. But you also have to know that you could be perfectly right and pull off here and it can come all the way back down. If this trend wasn't here, it would also make it a lot more easy for me to pull off and then wait for it to get down to the -2s if this wasn't here. But now we have a little bit of confluence here that we might get a little bit of a bounce off of this trend, or it's going to come back down here. Right? Like if we weren't in a trade, this swing low with EMA might be an add. So I don't need to worry about taking it off because that would be a spot that I'd be looking to re-add again. Yeah, like I said, let's do that. Let's take this off. Let's put a buy stop here. Sell stop, I mean.
Order submitted.
Let's see. This is another thing you could do. You can say, hey, it's stopped here at these highs. Are we going to break through these highs? Are we going to pull back down? See. And I'll show you what happens if this actually fills. I'll show you like another option for the strategy. Let's just try it. I know trailing is not exactly what we should be doing necessarily. We should really be holding it, but I'm new to this. And especially that last day of the week, I kind of want to lock in profits. There's nothing wrong with that.
Order filled.
I guess I totally understand that, Rod, but Yeah, I know he's behind the paywall, and I appreciate you hopping in to say hello. I really do. His are also like, I guess you can come back and watch mine later too. But yes, this summer I'll probably be in his room. But right now with the teaching, it just doesn't work out. I can't like focus on his trade room right now. So, and I also got a new computer and setup. So I appreciate you coming over and saying hello. All right. So now that we came out of that, as we were talking before, this thing might go up and hit my initial target. I'm going to take that target off now, obviously. But now what I can do is, here is my second ad. I can think about moving this up to here. And now we're just in a standard. Let's move it up to the -1s. And now we're set on the lines. Set it and forget it. Okay. So after pulling that off right now, $50.70. Yeah, I can't post that on Instagram. It's not going to sell me courses. It's not going to, have people talking about me at the water cooler. It's not going to buy me a Lambo. But if you think about the amount of people that are like $50 isn't worth it, but then when it's $50 across 12 accounts, $50.70 times 12. I mean, who wouldn't want $760 on a Thursday by 9:53 in the morning, right? Oh, this is actually a perfect example of what we were talking about before. If you just got here, go back and look what we were just talking about a second ago. You can pull this off, and then it can go right back up to your target. I'm not, in no way, shape, or form am I saying to myself, oh my God, I should have stayed in. Like I said, I wanted to show you that in case we came back down. This is for educational purposes, first and foremost. So if anything, instead of saying to yourself, oh my God, look, I should have held, it went up. Think of it more of a bias that your strategy is working correctly, right? When I see this go all the way up to what my target was, which really could have been VWAP in a perfect world if this trend wasn't here, that just shows me that line to line does work, that statistics do work. It just confirms my strategy. I'm not mad or the FOMO that I missed. If I would have taken out super early, okay, yeah, maybe I'd be like, all right, probably should have held. And the being able to hold a little bit longer, it's just something that comes. It's just a fluency thing. That's all. Yeah, like the fact that this is going to come up and hit exactly where our target was, that makes me warm and fuzzy inside. That means that when I gain a little bit more confidence with the system over time, I'll be able to hold for these bigger moves. So I got a question in chat. Thank you so much. What's the purple line again? Is that the standard deviation line? And what is the time frame? So yeah, so let's kind of look at all the charts. Exactly what we have. So this is the full picture of what I'm looking at. The first place I'm looking is over here to the left. That's these are 30-minute candles. And what this does is it gives me let me just give the whole picture of what I would see. It gives me the high and the low of yesterday's session. Okay. A volume profile. Hold on. Let me turn off Spotify ads quick. Whoop. So we have the high and the low of yesterday's session, the volume profile. We have volume point of control that's developing. Here's yesterday's point of control. So I'm using these as targets and sometimes entries, but mostly just confluence. And then this is a 233 trend line. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm working with here. These green numbers are just the volume, and then this is the range on the day, the 853. That's what I'm using to compare to this, to make sure that I'm at 50% of the ATR, to make sure that I can enter. And then over this side, this is a modified Renko chart, okay, that you can get from Nins or Renkos. They're all up here. And they are working on a 12 brick, so it's a tick chart, 12 brick with a 2 offset, all right? And the indicators that I have on this chart right now are just the swing highs and lows. That's the red and the green. We have a 233 EMA that really I'm just using for confluence and target sometimes, especially when I'm learning. It just gives me a nice intermediary point that I could take some targets. The red line, which will become green if, let me see where it's green. It becomes green if price action is above that, which hasn't happened. Oh, it happened right here. Okay, so that is VWAP. Okay, and that is anchored to the session. So this is a session VWAP. And then the purple lines are +1 and -1 standard deviations. And then the red line up here is my +2 standard deviation. Down here is my -2 standard deviation. I just shade them. And this is where I'm trading. I'm trading to sell short between +1 and +2. I'm looking to go long at -1, -2. And I am generally going to try and target line to line. If there is areas here, so this is a good example of when I wouldn't go line to line. And depending on when you got here, you heard me talk about this. When I went long at the -1 here, okay, here was my first -1 long. Instead of me targeting VWAP way up here, my target was this EMA, which, look at that. It would have worked. It would have been perfect. So that would have been an example of where we didn't exactly get to VWAP, but we had another area of confluence on the 30-minute time frame to take that trade off. Okay, so that's kind of how I'm using the 30 minutes in confluence just to take off trades. And then also to say I went short here and the EMA is kind of bouncing around right in the middle. There's a lot of the time, especially being new to this, that I'm going to pull off at the EMAs. Like I said, just to secure profits. I'm not looking, I don't even have a trading Instagram. I'm not looking to like post these huge days. I'm looking because I'm old to get to the end of the week and say, hey, we did 233 across 12 accounts with minis. Like that's my goal. So yeah, we would have got to VWAP right now in Rod's trade room. They are going crazy, right? Because so many people in his trade room, and I'm talking about Rod Casilli, the future fanatic, you had entries at these -1s here, 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 all of these entries. And if you're really, really good, or you have a bigger max loss that you can hold on to, meaning you could put on a little bit more risk, you are adding here, and then maybe you're adding again here. So I know guys in that trade room probably had 2-3 contracts on for this move where I got $50, they're getting 150. That's a really, really good day. My next, we have this right here. So this is simple as this: set it, put it on the line, and then wait. Right? That's essentially what I'm doing. And we're about to close this 30-minute candle out. A lot of the times when we see these, look at this. This is a huge candle from here to here. A lot of the times we're going to see this candle close on a 30-minute time frame, and we'll probably see a little bit more spike. And then unless this thing just plans on ripping the whole day, there's a pretty good chance we'll get a little bit of retracement, probably back to the trend line, right? That's what we're talking about. It's all mean reversion. Statistics do not lie. Anything that you look at that has a moving average over time, anything, it is going to go back to that eventually. Maybe it's not going to happen today. Maybe it's not going to happen tomorrow, but eventually that's what moving averages are. So I hope that answered your question. If you have any follow-ups, please let me know. And then this style just allows me to have dynamic entries and dynamic stops. So right before I had this target here, now the -1 has moved up a little bit. I can move that, right? So I can dynamically change my entries and my exits depending on what market conditions are giving me over time. Let's see if the ads are over. Yeah, they are. Yeah, I'm so pumped that it went up and hit VWAP. It's like, it's nuts. You go back and you forward test this and you back test it and you put these on your chart and then you just grab this slider and you just go back a week, you go back whatever, and you just see how many times, and I mean, it definitely goes wrong. Like, let's take a look here. You know, like, so this is April for me on these contracts. Like, it goes wrong sometimes. You know, like, it really stinks going this whole day, this whole week, and then taking a loss this whole week. But the difference is I have a really good week and it all averages itself out where I'm still up 193 across 12 accounts, still up 578 across the accounts. Like, you can see the P&L. This is exactly what I need to do. I'm not going to be perfect, right? So, I mean, the psychology, right now I have a week going here that I don't have a red day, which hasn't happened in a couple weeks. And with the holiday tomorrow, no trades. We'll see. I might be okay for the day. We'll see. But yeah, no, it's not perfect. But if you don't allow this to get any bigger than it needs to be, all of your greens, we can see my win rate is 87%. Now, I'm pretty much at a 1-to-1, but with this high of a win rate, I know that over time, there's a very good chance that we are going to be able to offset these max loss days and then move on, right? That's the goal. It's all about big picture stuff. And guys, this is TradeZilla. If you're not journaling your trades, like the stuff that they give you, my favorite is the day view. There's a link. I think they give discounts to people that watch me in the description, but I love the day view, the amount of days going from red to green and things like that. Love it. What's up, Brody? Yes. Now, people ask me all the time, is this a spot to go short? Like, because we came into it, are we going short down here? I know people that are skilled enough to do that. I personally don't, because what happens is if I go short here and then it continues to climb, like this is a real short that I want. So it's like, how do I take a stop loss here when this is really an add, right? So now I'm taking this heat to get to an add I want. And then technically I have a second add up here, right? So if I go short here and then it continues to go test the plus twos, that's going to be too much heat for me, which is why I can't go short here, targeting this. I'm not targeting the ones and twos. I want to work everything, right? That's mean reversion. I want everything to go back to VWAP. So that's just ways that maybe you can adapt the strategy. For me, that just doesn't work for me. What's that now? 54. Oh, let's call it 50. 52 times 12. Yeah, 624. Not a bad day, dude. Kind of hang out here for another couple minutes. Been live now for just about an hour. See if we can get a pullback down here. We can get a pullback down here. We'll take it. If not, I have no problem trading for an hour on this holiday weekend. Going to get my long run in. For those of you who don't know, I'm a ultra runner, ultra marathoner. It's got a couple big races coming up this summer. A couple intermediary 50 milers coming up this month and next month. So this is nice, but I got to get out and I got to train. It's rainy here in the Northeast today, so just March is so tricky because it's like, oh yeah, it's gonna be nice, and then it's nice but it's windy, or it's nice and it starts to rain. Can't exactly put the jackets away just yet. I really want to, but I just can't. I'm also off next week, so I hope to trade live a couple times more next week. Maybe not every day. That's aggressive. I do have 2 small kids, but definitely try and live stream with y'all a couple more times next week. Probably hang out and watch the rest of this candle, see what happens on this candle. Good morning, everyone that just hopped in. Check out the description of this video for what I'm trading, a bunch of FAQs, what I'm trading, who I trade with as far as props are concerned, any discounts you might be able to pick up along the way to help support the channel. Those are all in the description of the video. What do you think? Do we see plus ones first, or do we see minus ones first today? What's going to be next? Let me know your thoughts. Put them in the chat. Are we going up to +1 or are we going down to -1 first? Or are we just going to chop at VWAP for the rest of the entire day today? Take a look at it. Or let's see what the ES is doing. Very, very similar. You would have traded the ES, you would have got that same exact move. This would have been glorious for you guys. Right? So now with the ES, we are back inside yesterday's range, which is great. I don't diddle in the middle here. And it would be tough, even this -1s. The -1s, you see, they align with 2 days ago value area session low. No, it's a session high 2 days ago. Holy cow. Yeah, it's a session high. 2 days ago, there's a session high. And then we ripped yesterday. And then came back and gave it all away. The ES, you can always tell I'm on the ES because it has a different background. Just so really I can see the difference. Because so many times I was looking at one 30-minute chart and then trading on the other one. I'm like, what the hell's going on? So a friend suggested just make the background slightly different. And then you know if it's really, really dark, you trade in the Dow. If it has a little bit of gray to it, you are trading the ES. The ES is always secondary to me. If you look at the charts, they move in very similar ways. Right, here's that same move on the Dow. The Dow just moves a little bit more controlled for me. Doesn't whip around. I mean, the major stocks affecting the Dow are what Charles Schwab and Caterpillar. So you're not just going to see these massive swings. They'll react to the news and things like that, but just not going to get the huge swings that even the ES for me as a new trader can produce. Looking at the Bookmap, I asked a couple minutes ago, we think we're going to go up and see +1s first and -1s. Looking at the Bookmap, I'm thinking we're going up to the -1s first. These tend to be a little bit of a magnet. So right around here, around this 400 level. You know, now, I said I don't use this for entries. I just use it for exits. And just kind of get an idea of what the market's really doing. We can see some orders kind of stacking up down here. But we still have this huge area up here, the 400s. So to me, like that says, or historically, just from looking at the Bookmap, there's a good chance, but now we see them getting pulled off. That's why you can't use it as end all be all. It's just, like I said, just like the 30-minute chart, just another area of confluence. That's all I'm using it for. With them pulling this, now who knows what it's going to do, right? We have no idea what the markets are going to do. We're just here to react to them. But that 400 levels, it's still right here. So even on the Bookmap, it looks like we got to go up pretty far for that. When you actually put it in some reference, 400 is only right here. So it's not that big of a deal. Big wick on this candle too, huh? Some other things that are just popping into my mind now, just so I can say them here. When value area high or low is in the middle, I'm not looking to use that as an area to possibly get short. If this value area high was inside my range, that might be a spot that I could add either initially or add to an existing position if it gets to it. Oh, here come those ads. Man, they really like these ads. I'm going to invest in Spotify Premium if I'm going to stream more. hanging out right at VWAP, right at the 233 trend. It's looking like everyone's trying to get to the long weekend as well. All right, guys, I think I'm going to call it here. We are just kind of chopping around, not a lot of movement. Been streaming now for a little over an hour. My kids are home, so I'm going to go spend some time with them. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. If you have any last minute questions before I get out of here, please look for streams next week. I am off from school for the spring break, so I'll probably definitely try and stream maybe a couple days a week, maybe Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Tuesday, Thursday. If not, I'll be looking at maybe just the afternoon session. We'll see. So I'm on vacation, family first. Please check out the description of this video for discounts you might be able to pick up or any FAQs that are asked about the strategy. Check out the Futures Fanatics. Shout out to Rod Xili for showing me this method of staying patient and, you know, trading math and trading size that's appropriate for these particular prop firms. On the day, it looks like we're going to be $50.70. I will keep my charts open during the day, so we'll see what happens. On the week, anywhere from $233 all the way up to $247 across 12 accounts. So definitely, I would say a successful weekend, especially for a guy that's really just learning this about 5-6 weeks into the strategy, and 2 red days. So I appreciate you. Thank you so much, and I'll catch you next time.